Scoring props are fading fast. August 31st won't last, but don't you stress, don't delay. There's a smarter, sharper way. It's Lead Score Monday with Casey. Just 15 minutes, sharp and pacey. Learn the tool, grab your team, make your scoring system a dream.
Hello, happy Monday. Lead Scoring Mondays are back. Should be on a good schedule mostly until the end of August. And today we learned that I am incapable of making an AI song that does not sound like a children's song. So I'm just leaning into it. All of my own music that I've created sound like children's songs, and everything, all the shows that I'm on that have another intro, I didn't make. I can only make children's songs using AI. Apparently, that's the lesson for today. So welcome. This is part of my ongoing Countdown to Better Scoring, your weekly 15-minute fix to help you clean up and future-proof your lead scoring before the August 31st sunset. I'm Casey Hawkins, HubSpot consultant, and your guide through all things scoring. And today we're diving into one of the most helpful new updates HubSpot just released, the ability to use contains filters in the new scoring tool for emails and forms. Today, we're going to talk about what it is, why it matters, and how you can use it to scale your scoring models without spending hours manually updating every new asset. Before this update, when you were building a score around email or form submissions, it was a bit painful. Here's why. You either had to manually select every single email or form that you wanted to score. Then you had to, every time you launched a new email or a new form, you had to go in and score that manually. And if you forgot, your scoring data got messy or you completely missed the engagement. That meant a ton of upkeep just to maintain accuracy. And it also meant, in reality, that people didn't bother. So what people were instead doing was just scoring all emails the same, all forms the same, in many cases, especially if it was something that they had to continually update. And let's be honest, engagement is one of the most important buying signals and one of the most important elements of your lead score. So it's really important that that part is working well for you. Now, with the new contains filter, HubSpot gives us a more scalable solution. Let's dive in and take a look at what this update is. So this is the scale email and form scoring with contains scoring app. What it is, you can now use contains filters to specify which marketing emails, including within marketing campaigns and forms, are included in your scoring rules for both lead and health scores. There's a ton of screenshots in this update. I think I already dropped the link to this update below. If I haven't, I'll do that after. But you should be able to see that in the event description, the comments. I have a link there. If it's not already there, it will be there after this is over. So you can check out all of those screenshots for yourself. But here's why it matters, which is, obviously the important piece. This helps you build a complete and accurate scoring rules that scale and automatically capture engagement across current and future marketing emails and forms. Previously, scoring on engagement with marketing emails and forms required manually selecting each individual asset. That meant that scoring rules had to be manually updated every time new marketing emails and forms were launched in order for the score to capture engagement with the new assets. Now, you can use contains filter to specify which current and future marketing emails and forms to score engagement for based on specific keywords used in their name, leveraging consistent naming conventions. Naming conventions is obviously an important piece of this. You can create the score rule once, and all engagement associated with the marketing emails and forms containing a certain name will be automatically captured. How does it work? Again, a ton of screenshots in here. So definitely come in here and check it out for yourself if you're looking to set this up. You'll navigate to lead score, engagement, or combine for any object such as contacts or companies, or you can also use this in your health score. I'll do a demo of it in the lead score, but you can do it in the health score as well. Again, this has to be either an engagement or a combined score. That's because this is an engagement-based filter. Create a new score or open an existing score within the event group. Create a new rule with marketing email or form by clicking the plus add event criteria or navigating to an existing rule with marketing or email or form. For marketing email, click marketing email from the list of event criteria. Click the select event dropdown and select one of the eligible events. Those are like email delivered, opened, bounced, replied, clicked, and so on. All marketing, basically it's not the update email subscription type, apparently, according to this. All marketing email events except for updated email subscription status can utilize the contains filter. This means the following event criteria for marketing emails can utilize the contains filter. Email delivered, opened, bounced, sent, replied, click the link. Select one of the eligible event criteria, such as click link in email, click filter event, click select a property and choose either email name at send time or marketing campaign name at send time. That is important too. We're looking at marketing campaign name or email name. Click select an operator and select contains any of for email name at send time. Contains any of. It's the same. Type in the specific keyword or words used in the names of your marketing emails or marketing campaigns. This is especially useful if you use consistent naming conventions across all those assets. That's going to be critical to the usefulness of this. In the above example for email name at send time contains any of nurture, now engagement will be scored if a link is clicked in your current or future emails that have the word nurture in its name at the time that it was engaged with. If a contact clicks on a link in an email that contains the word nurture in its name, they will receive 5 points, up to a total of 10 points based on the group score limits. The same applies for marketing campaign name at send time. Any marketing campaign that contains nurture in its name will have the same engagement scored. Let's read this note. The contains filter will capture engagement of email name at send time and marketing campaign name at send time based on the name of these assets at the time that they were interacted with. If the names of these assets are changed after they were interacted with, the contains filter will only capture the engagement with the marketing email and marketing campaign with their new names if they still include the keyword used in the scoring rule. So if you change the name after it is sent and after it's sent, it doesn't have that whatever your contains in, it won't score. So just consider that. And then pretty much all the same is true for forms. And again, those are going to be happening, the form name at the time that it was interacted with. So it is really powerful. And despite how long of an intro that was, it is fairly easy to set up. So let's go over and just check that out. You can create a new score. I'm going to use an engagement score I already have kind of running in a draft here. And you can see this was already possible in page visited, but it wasn't available for forms and email. So I already have this form. Action. Let's do form submissions. Form name I need to select here. Beautiful. Let's get rid of that one. I'm not sure if it's because I already had it set up. So let's add a new event. Let's do marketing emails, just because that one wasn't being very nice. And again, I can use pretty much everything except for email subscription status. When scoring emails, I do not like to score based on opened or sent. I find those to be inconsistent, inaccurate. Sometimes the email can look like it was opened when it wasn't. I really only score based on clicked or even replied if you're tracking that, although I find a lot of people aren't always tracking the replies. So usually when I'm scoring based on email, I'm looking at clicks exclusively, although those two can be mistracked. However, if that's something you're scoring on for this purpose, we'll roll with it. All right, now I want to say the email name at send time. Specifically what I need to select. Maybe that was the issue I was having before. Yeah, if I select email name, it's not going to work, but email name at send time, here we go, contains any of, and I also do have doesn't contain any of, so you have that option as well. And here is where I can score based on that. So a lot of times when I'm building nomenclatures for my email campaigns, I might have like 3 categories of emails. Maybe I have my top of funnel tofu, my middle of funnel mofu, and my bottom of funnel bofu emails. So for example, I might do, if they've clicked a tofu email, add 1 point. Maybe I want to limit that to 5. And then maybe if they're doing a mofu, maybe I'll give them 2 points. Let's limit that to 10. And then lastly, I could do bofu, 5 points. Maybe I'll limit that to 20. And this is really helpful because rather than having to select all of those emails, each time I create a new email, whether that's a top of funnel, middle of funnel, or bottom of funnel, I'd either have to come in here and manually select it, or, and this is what most accounts I was working on were doing, they were just giving everybody a point rather than really being able to drill in here and saying, okay, this bottom of funnel email is a much more engaged email. And so if they're interacting with that, that matters a lot more to me than if they're interacting with a tofu email, which maybe is just like a blog post or something like that, versus my bottom of funnel emails might be much more product focused and things like that. So it just gives us a lot more flexibility. And again, we can choose email name at send time. We can also choose marketing campaign at send time. So if you're leveraging marketing campaigns, that might be an easier way. Again, all of this is really important that you are leveraging consistent nomenclature for this as well. Another common use, again, is the forms. I think I have it figured out now. Maybe. Form interaction. I don't know why the form one isn't working for me. Yeah. Okay, form submissions additional for whatever reason needed to be selected. To be honest, I don't know additional is only form events that include okay, so form submissions additional is the only one that contains. I don't know what that means. If you do, drop it in the comments, please. But from here, I can do the form submission at submission timing contains any of. This is another one that would come up a lot. Like we'd have demo forms, but then maybe the demo form changes, or maybe I am creating new content forms for each content download I have, but I might forget. I am but a mere human. And sometimes I might forget to add the in. So I can now do something like this. Score if they do a demo. And then download 25. So I can do something like this just to kind of adjust my scorings based on that without having to come in and add the form each time. It just definitely gives us a lot more flexibility here. So if you want to start using this right now, a couple ways I would recommend trying it out. Make sure that you are naming your emails consistently. If you're doing a nurture engagement score, maybe it's nurture week 1, nurture case study, and then you can score clicks on that for every email that contains nurture. If there's high intent forms, make sure that you're naming those consistently too. Things like demo or content download, and then you can filter, you can score differently based on those. And then lastly, with your campaign specific scoring, if you have higher intent campaigns and lower intent campaigns, you can score engagement with all emails in that campaign using the campaign name at send time contains top of funnel, bottom of funnel, high intent, even whatever you're doing. Some things to watch out for. The filters only capture the names at time of interaction. Renaming assets later won't retroactively apply the scoring. You'll need to standardize naming going forward for this to stay accurate, so make sure you're doing that. And then not every event type supports contains, so make sure you're clicking the right ones. You saw I had some trouble even just right now figuring out which ones to use. So what does this mean for your scoring system? If you've been holding off on scoring engagement because it felt tedious, now's your moment. Start by reviewing your asset naming conventions and test out a contains rule for your scoring app. And if you're rebuilding your scores from scratch, this update is a game changer for making engagement more dynamic and maintainable. I'd love to hear how you're planning to use it. Drop your examples or questions in the comments and I'll be happy to get back to you. And if you want structured support and expert guidance as you prepare your scoring for the August 31st sunset, shoot me a message or visit valuefirst.site/leadscore. Leadscore is one word. I will see you next Monday for another 15-minute fix.
Scoring props are fading fast. August 31st won't last, but don't you stress, don't delay. There's a smarter, sharper way. It's Lead Score Monday with Casey. Just 15 minutes, sharp and pacey. Learn the tool, prep your team, make your scoring system a dream.